Do you ever catch yourself watching Netflix and 2 minutes in you pick up the remote looking for something else to watch? Do you ever catch yourself feeling stuck because nothing interests you or excites you because you find yourself looking for the quick dopamine fix? Yeah, I have to break it to you. You are experiencing what we call a brain rot. I think we're all guilty of this, and sadly, it's the world we live in now, and it's very sad. For the past few months and weeks, I've been doing like a few mindset shifts, and I'm slowly getting out of it. But of course, I'm not there yet, and maybe I'm not the best person to talk about this, but I think it's high time we have this discussion because it is getting out of hand. Hi guys, welcome back. But if you're new here, welcome to my channel. So I want to talk about what 6-7 brain rot actually means, what it really means, how it affects us, and how it's ruining our generation. I mean, basically brain rot, I don't know if everyone knows what brain rotting means, but basically it's the slang for when someone spends so much time consuming low effort, repetitive, or mind-numbing content online that they feel like their brain is actually turning to mush. So the 6-7 part doesn't really have like a deep meaning. It's just like part of a trend and a meme. But the idea behind it is that people only have an attention span of 6 to 7 seconds. So yeah, it's very real. It's when your brain is so used to like fast, easy dopamine from short videos, constant notifications, jumping between apps, that it stops you from enjoying real life. You can't focus for long, you get bored easily, and nothing feels exciting unless it's fast-paced or instantly rewarding. Like I mentioned about the Netflix part before, you know, sometimes I'm watching Netflix and I'm 2 or 3 minutes in, but because I don't get that instant excitement, I'm looking for something else to watch. And the truth is, most of these instantly rewarding movies you see, you know, when you watch it all the way through, you realize that you just actually watch rubbish. Like, it doesn't make any sense, but the beginning part kind of like hooked you in, and then you're 2 hours in and you're like, what is this? It's why you can scroll for hours but can't finish a 5-minute task. It's why silence feels uncomfortable. It's why even rest doesn't feel restful anymore. That's what brain rot is. It's a tired, overstimulated mind that's forgotten how to just be. So the other day I was about to catch my train. I was on the subway and I got there, but I missed the train, so the door shut and I had to watch the train move past, you know. But as the train moved by cart, I looked in and I saw everyone on their phones, and it was like this. Everyone was fixated on their phone looking like this exactly, and each card would pass and it was the same thing. And it was so scary. At that point, it felt like I was in a Black Mirror episode, you know, where people were like just kind of like glued to their phones. I don't know. It felt really spiritual, and I was like, oh my god, is this what we all look like? Like, it was so scary. I remember when I first moved to this country, most trains go underground. Most of the trains that I take go underground, and you know, we always don't have signal because you're underground. And so you don't really have connection on your phone. Usually when you're on the train, you have to just like keep staring or looking down or something because there's nothing to do. I noticed over time, I noticed that people will still be on their phones. And I had to ask my husband and stuff. I was like, because I was new here, and I was like, it's weird. Like, people don't have internet, but how are they still on their phones? And he just smiled and said, people just love to be on their phones. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. You don't have internet. Because usually when I'm on the train, I'm usually like scrolling like on Twitter or like just reading something because I'm trying to pass time to get to my location. But the fact that you don't have any signal, any internet, but you're still glued to your phone, like, the truth is, we are all guilty of this. I myself am guilty of this. This is the reason why we can't watch a full movie without checking our phones. This is the reason why we open TikTok, then Instagram, then back to YouTube, and then we circle back to TikTok. You know, we crave motivation but can't seem to take action. I was watching TikTok the other day. I saw this video of this girl talking about how or why people like to start tasks and they end up not finishing the task, and it's because there is this excitement that comes from just, you know, thinking about an idea, and then you get started because you're excited, and then it's 2 months down, 3 months down the line, and then it starts to get boring because now you're deep into the project, and then you have to motivate yourself to finish it. But most people can't just do that because it's not longer exciting. And that's because our brains are craving constant dopamine hits, those tiny bursts of pleasures. And when we live like this long enough, our mind forgets what slow satisfaction feels like. You know, like reading a book, praying quietly, or having a deep conversation without picking up our phones, you know, every 5 minutes. And the truth is, it's not that we are lazy, we are just overstimulated. When I'm out with friends, I make a constant effort to be present. Most times I use my phone for navigation because I'm in New York City. I'm trying to find my way around, find the next train, things like that. But as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that not everything is about or should be for social media. It is sad that it's taken me to getting old to realize this. I mean, if we're to look at this through the perspective, the Bible says, be still and know that I am God. But how can we be still when our minds are always looking for something? Look, the enemy doesn't always attack us with obvious things. Sometimes it's just distraction. If he can keep us so entertained that we never have time to reflect, pray, or think deeply, then he doesn't need to tempt us. We're already so distracted to even realize or notice it. When we are caught up in this brain rot or loop, it's not just about attention, it's about connection to God, to ourselves, and to be in the present moment. And when I realized this, it hit different, and that's something I had to fight to get back. So let's talk about how to actually get out of this brain rot, brain loop. This is what is working for me and what has been helping me little by little. I like to start my day without my phone to detox my mind. I used to wake up and scroll for 30 minutes. Wait, what's 30 minutes? An hour before getting out of bed. And then by then, my brain was already like overstimulated. I'd seen like 10 people's lives, stories, I've watched all the Instagram updates for myself. And I did all this before checking in with myself or God. But now I try to wait at least 30 minutes before touching my phone. I like to get out of bed first, lay my bed, go to the bathroom, brush my teeth before picking up my phone. And honestly, it is hard at first, but the peace that comes with it is worth it. The more you do something over time, the more it becomes easier and comfortable. So you want to start small, spend 1 hour of social media, then you can do 5 hours, and then you can do half a day, and then you can do 1 day off in a week. At first you will feel restless, but that's your brain rewiring. You are teaching your brain that boredom is okay. You're teaching your brain that listening to your thoughts is okay. The other day I was talking to a friend of a friend, and she was telling me how she forgot her headphones at home, and she was on the subway, and then she was just listening to her thoughts. And at that time it was funny because I even laughed. And later I was thinking, I was like, but is that such a bad thing? I mean, it's not a bad thing to just sit down and sit with yourself and just be in your feelings and listen to your thoughts. It's not a bad thing. You want to get comfortable with boredom. Sometimes when I'm sitting by myself in silence, my brain literally like itches for stimulation. But I'm learning that to sit in that silence is how your brain heals. That's when your real thoughts, the ones that matter, start showing up for you. Every morning I sit in silence for a few minutes with no music, no scrolling, no phones. I think about my plans for the day. I write them down. At first, it feels awkward, but eventually that silence starts to feel like peace. It starts to feel comfortable. You can also play like some mind stimulating games. There are some IQ games I have on my phone. I download them often here and there, like puzzle games. There are games that ask you to sort out some colors or control some traffic. It might feel stupid at first or easy, but they stimulate the mind, honestly. And these are the games that I try to play when I'm on the subway, when I don't want to like just endlessly scroll on TikTok or social media, and I'm like, I need to do something, but I'm bored. I pick up these games. It really helps. So my friends, be comfortable in silence. And number 2, I would say, don't just take breaks from social media, replace them with something real. Because if you delete that app but don't feel that time is something else or meaningful, you will end up just re-downloading it again. When I catch myself wanting to scroll, I'll go on a walk, clean up, or even journal. You don't have to do something deep, just something real, touch grass, call a friend, sit with your thoughts, anything that reminds your brain that the world is bigger than the screen. So instead of trying to quit scrolling, fill that space with real life stimulation. Your brain still needs something. Give it something good. Number 3, I'll say time block your screen time. It really does help. You don't have to quit social media altogether. Just give yourself some boundaries. For example, I'll scroll guilt free for like 30 minutes. I'll set the timer on my phone. I'm like, you have 40 minutes to scroll and do what you want to do, And then, but during the day, I stay off it as much as I can because I'm like, you know what, I have time for that later on. I realized that because I've been doing that, I have so much time now. I finish task. I write down my to-do list for the day and I'm done with the to-do list already because I have this magical time that appeared to me because I stopped scrolling. So it's not about perfection, it's about intention. Plan your day and time block your day, because the truth is, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You end up just doom scrolling, doing mindless activities. Number 4, I would say be mindful of what you feed your mind. You are what you consume. The content you scroll through is shaping your thoughts, is shaping your mood, whether you realize it or not. So follow people who uplift you, who make you think deeper, who you aspire to be like. Sometimes on my personal Instagram account, I watch some content, and then after a while, Instagram will ask you if it wants you to suggest, that kind of content for the next 30 days, and you either say yes or no. And the people that watch, adult content, on social media, and they start to complain, oh, social media is just so bad. I keep seeing this content. I'm like, but you're the one watching them. Literally, if you don't watch it, they'll stop suggesting it to you. You are your algorithm. So it's what you watch, what you like, what you share. That's what you're going to see. Number 5, I would say reconnect with God and yourself. And this one might sound cliche, but here, girl, I'm telling you the truth and the fact. very Christian, you need to connect with God. Honestly, God answers all things. Is the truth, is the way, is the life. He is the foundation of all of it. So when I start my day in prayer or just even like quiet gratitude, my mind feels calmer. It's like I'm filling my brain with peace before the world fills it in with noise. When I feel scattered, when I feel confused, when I feel tired or overwhelmed, I literally just say, you know, God, help me focus on what matters today. And honestly, that simple prayer works. It literally does work, because throughout the day you realize that you're doing things, you're finishing tasks, you're able to do things without feeling overwhelmed. Everything just falls into place. When you go back to doom scrolling on social media, you know, and you're on your phone, or you know, doing mindless activities, you don't expect God to direct you, because obviously you're distracted, you know. So if you are present, if you're sitting still, if you are connecting yourself and with God, He's going to direct you. He's going to show you the way that you want to go. He's going to give you the right path to go. I tell people, God cannot speak to you while you are speaking. You need to sit still. You need to be listening. So when you are not distracted, when you're not listening to, you know, any kind of music and just blasting everything in your ears, you don't have any quiet time during the day, I'm sorry, God's not going to direct you. God is not going to come down and tell you, my daughter, stop this. I want you to do the dishes. I want you to do the laundry. No, you have to sit still. You have to be quiet to know the way that God wants you to go. The thing is, we don't need another productivity hack. We just need to be still and to be present. Sometimes the cure for brain rot is just to be still. So that'll be all for today. But if this video really helped you, let me know in the comments, and also share to people that you think might need to hear this. And make sure you like, share, subscribe, and all that jazz. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.